Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and today somebody posted this on Facebook, and somebody's already tried to help them or helped them, I don't really know, but they want to know how to clean this up. And I've got Squiggles on my Facebook page and on Epilogue's Facebook page, and this squiggle is right there. I'll put my Facebook page link. Well, you know what? I'm going to put my email address in if you need the squiggle. But this particular squiggle is not very good. Let me open it back up. Let me import. If you import it, it won't try to. So it's just Squiggles, that one right there, plus a new one. I think there's 9 pages of Squiggles. This squiggle, particularly, that one right there, is terrible. I've never have used it, but if you look real close, but any squiggle, so we're going to go to object and order or group and ungroup it and get this squiggle, and I'm actually going to put it on that other page. I'm going to copy it to there and paste it right here. And if you look, I've added some, because there are some lines in there, I've actually added some detailing. But if you ever run into something like this, you need to clean up. That's things, you need to change it to a hairline and take away the color. And the reason it's garbage is because it's poorly drawn. So we're going to grab well, first of all, when you look at something like this, or when I look at it, I'm going to go up to object and break the curve apart. This is the exact same thing twice. So I'm going to delete that side. I don't need to clean up both sides. We can just clean up one side. And immediately I see that these lines are too close together, so we're going to take the shape tool and click on one of those lines and try to move the other line apart just a little bit so the thing will flow. Now we're going to get our smoothing tool, and if you have X7 or above, you have the smoothing tool. And it's one of the greatest tools Corel has ever put into the package. Because you can do a lot with it. Now, I'm not going to worry about smoothing out those circles because we can draw circles left and right all day long. So I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. Now, when I realized that this thing had these lines right here and why they were there, and I added some gradient color to it, just kind of, if you ever wanted to do that. So just take the shape tool. We actually need to clean that line up. Well, you know what? We can just delete that line and just draw a new line. So select all the nodes and just take your, I'm going to use a 3-point curve line and just go from about right there to about there and just kind of curve it. Now, the person, I'm using their file or their worksheet, and I'm getting a really thick line. And then you could just mimic that other line on the other side or just redraw it. And let's try it. Just tell you what we'll do. We'll just smooth it up and smooth up that line a little bit because you don't have to change lines. I'm going to actually put it down here a little bit. And if you just want it solid black and don't want the gradient, you could just do that. Now, like I said, this is all one part. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the, which I never do, I'm going to use the freehand pick tool and just show you, well, first of all, I want to find out what our nudge distance is, 1 inch, which is fine. I'm going to take the freehand pick tool and I'm going to draw and try to get all this, but not that other part. I'm going to try to go between there. And then I'm going to nudge that out of the way. I see I missed it. So let's just, now, we didn't really need the freehand pick tool. Now let's go back to, that's why I don't like it. Go back to the pick tool, Control G to group. Well, remember when I said we don't have to clean the other one up because we can draw circles all day long? Well, let's go up to object and ungroup it again. And I'm just going to draw a little bit bigger circles than the ones that are there. And then that'll help us get rid of those jagged lines. And I wish, now when I started the video, I wish I would have changed my pen tool to hairline. So I held down the shift key to get it grow from the inside out. I'm just going to delete. Whoop. It's human error that makes most mistakes. Because I touched the. So here I'm just going to make an ellipse a little bit bigger. See, this is why you'd want to start out with drawing in hairline and get it about to the center, then hold down the shift key and grow it a little bit more. Because that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get rid of this bad circle. And we could actually clean this up a little bit, but it's okay. We need to open that gate. Let me zoom in here. And I could clean this up a little bit, and we will. Because you're only drawing half of it. You only have to draw it half. So you want that to be pretty good. Now we're going to take this and we're going to Control G to group it. We're going to Control D to duplicate it. We're going to mirror it both directions. Then start moving it down and just put it about right in there to where you think it is. Because we can move this back. And we're not quite there. But because we have it grouped together, we can actually just grab it. Start moving, hold down your control button, and you want it about like right in there. So that looks pretty identical. Now, if you're just going to do black, just make it all black. It's not that. Take the Smart Fill tool and make it black. And I would take away my lines so you won't have to do this and your line won't be visible. But there's your black squiggle. I've already saved it in black over there, so don't. When you get it, there'll be a black one. But if you wanted to do, and we're going to do a gray this time, I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and put it on a gray, and we're going to fill this in with gray. And what's going to happen, we can put a little shadow in. So now let's grab one of the shorter runs, which is this one. Go up to Interactive Fill tool and just start on one corner or the other. Put a darker color, put a darker color in the one that's closest to the edge, and then put that back to that gray. And it makes it look like it's turning a corner. I hope you can see that. I mean, the ribbon is turned. And this would only be for printing. Laser engravers, it's not going to show up. So we need to make a little bit darker area there, but make the normal one gray. I must have messed up there and put a little bit darker in that corner, and then a gray in that corner. And you could play around with it, get it closer or get it less. And then all you have to do is just fill in your little balls here. Now, these lines are probably hairlines, so if you ever were going to print this, you'd want to change this to something other than a hairline. I don't really like that, but it's just because it's so little is the reason it looks like that. Because if we spread this out, and I do not have, it's tiny. I did not specify, scale with object. Now it's only 6 or 7 inches long. So the line thickness looks fine. It's a little bit thick. Let's take away we'll make it 0.5. See, and this will be a good lesson on scale with object. When you do something like that, I've got 2 lines sitting on top of each other, evidently. I'll tell you what, I'm going to zoom it out. Yeah, there we go. Then I can put that back. See, I've got 2 sets of line, so we just need to fill that in with that gray and get rid of that. Now, what I said was scale with object, and this line is evidently behind because I have no line. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's a little bit thicker on this top one. But if you don't know what scale with object is, let's just use it. This is 500 points, and it's not scale with object. Let's make a duplicate of this. Tell you what, it's still a little bitty. Control D and duplicate it. This one, we're gonna leave it 500 points. This one, we're going to scale with object. Now watch what happens. And I've made many videos on this. You make this real little, that line gets real thin. If you make this the same size, the line is equal to what it was in proportionate. Just like the same thing, if we reduce this to nothing, to real little, then the line's going to be actually too thick, as you can see, versus if we make this one real small. I could do it with measurements, but we can get it there close enough. That's about the same size. So look at the difference in the line thickness because we scaled with object. Anyway, and I'll have this video went way longer than I meant to. I'll have my email if anybody wants. There's many pages of Squiggles. I think there's 9 pages. Anyway, so I'll put my email at the end of the video. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.